2, 1.
Hi, this is Coach World TV. I'm Laurie Lawson, and my guest tonight is Heather Markle.
Hello.
Hello, Heather. Thank you for coming. Gosh, let me start introducing her, and then probably when I finish, the show will be over. But right now...
Just get a pillow.
Yes, relax. I have a long thing to do. Right now, Heather is, she's the founder of something called BullBuster Cafe. You may notice that there's a little cow on our desk, but we'll get her to talk about picolette in a few minutes. And she is also the founder, are you the founder of Cultural Transition?
Culture Transition, yes.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, so she has many projects going, and she's also a member of the ICF NYC board. She's been on the board for 4 years now, I think. 4 years. Wow. And recently has become the president of the group referral.
Of a business referral
Thank
group
you.
at the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, so she's a little busy, so I'm really glad you got to schedule us in today.
For you.
Thank you.
Only because you wore red.
Yeah, yes, today everybody we see has red on, so it's, I don't know, 'tis the day. So I don't even know where we should start, but I think we should start. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into coaching and all these crazy, wonderful programs that you started.
Coaching kind of found me, I guess.
That's my philosophy. It
Right?
calls you and you go.
It does.
Yes.
I kind of went to this, I had been exploring coaching actually for years, and I found this one program. I walked in the door, I did the introductory session, and it was like all of my chakras were in alignment. And I was like, I have to do this. It was the oddest thing.
Yeah, I hear you.
So it found me, and I got certified in 2008 and immediately joined the ICF chapter in New York City, and eventually got on the board of directors, and I started my first coaching business back in 2008, which was originally focused on work. But I quickly segued into working with expatriates on the adaptation process.
Tell us the languages you speak. You might understand why she decided to work with expatriates.
Does nonsense count as a language?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be 7. I speak American English, sometimes with a British accent, French, German, Spanish, Italian, and a little Japanese.
Wow. And was this a concentrated study that you decided to do, or have you lived in all these places, or both?
I've lived in a lot. Let's see, I guess in 6th grade we had to choose Spanish or French, and I chose French.
I chose French, like I was going to live in France, but whatever.
Whatever. And I had 3 years of high school French under my belt when I went off for a month to live with a host family and realized that textbook and classroom French was meaningless and useless.
Exactly.
Because the people there didn't speak any English. So I was actually had to struggle to figure out how to, if I couldn't say chair, I had to like point to things, and
universal language. Yes,
yes, pointing, universal. And the experience of ultimately learning to speak another language fluently and have this robust communication and relationship with people because I spoke their language was so enriching that I just made it a mission to study everything else I could.
Wow.
And
Nice.
that led to travel, and yeah, I lived in 4 different countries, and it's great.
Fantastic. So when you're doing expatriate, just tell us a little bit about, because I know we really want to talk about the
Bull-busting.
bull-busting, yes. But a little bit about expatriate and what the mission is of Cultural Transition.
Sure. So Culture Transition coaching was about helping people to adapt to the social, personal, and professional challenges that accompany a move to a new culture. Typically, we think of that when you move to a different country, but it's equally apparent when you move from the countryside to a big city, for example. So I would help clients to adapt to either all 3 of those areas, or we might pick one. And I developed a whole bunch of products around each of those, which I still sell. And ultimately, what happened was I would go to all these networking events and realize that people thought this was a fascinating niche, but nobody had ever heard of it. And yet, I knew all these other expat coaches, so I ended up starting an expat coach association and an expat coach directory, which I still run today.
Wow, okay.
And that's how I bring together serving expatriates around the globe and helping them reach the coaches that can serve them.
So if I were the wife of a French man who is being
Why?
we can dream, man. who is being relocated to the United States, I could access your website and say, I don't know anything. Help me, and I need daycare. I need a job
it's more you would access at this point the expat coach directory, and you would be able to see which coaches might be in or near the city or state that you're moving to, or
and
the
then
country.
Consult them,
and then you can work with them on the services they provide. We don't usually provide daycare. It would be
no. I mean, but to say, okay, here's how daycare works in the United States,
Sure.
and things like that.
Or we might, if we didn't know, we'd be able to
I want you to watch my kids.
Watch my kids.
I'm coming to town.
I don't want me to watch.
I need a babysitter. No,
they would probably
you
be more
don't want me
naughty after.
You don't want me to have kids, no. But anyway, we'll talk about all that later. Okay, so very noble, very noble. So tell me, how did you get into bull busting? And this is the name she chose, okay?
It is. So what happened was I was doing the expat work, and I kind of realized that I was personally shifting in a new direction, which I think happens a lot with coaches. As we grow, we suddenly grow and transform ourselves. And that was happening to me. And at the time, I was in a relationship that I was unsure that I belonged there. And it took me a long time to realize that I needed to leave. And in so doing, I realized that, first of all, the reason that I had, created so much stagnance in my life was because I created all these thoughts and belief systems in my mind that kept me stuck, and which I refer to as bull. And the other thing that happened was when I stepped out of the relationship, I realized that what happened to me? Where did I go? I mean, that was the biggest sense. I was like, I really am disappointed. I miss these vibrant, alive parts of myself, and I don't get what happened to me. And I went through a process of reconnecting to myself, basically, my own authenticity, my own integrity, where, just relearning who I am. And that became the core mission of bull busting, is to help other people. I think a lot of us sort of, for various reasons, it could be relationship, it could be work, it could be many things, that we look at ourselves and we say, wow, what happened? I used to be so spontaneous. I used to be so joyful. I used to be funny, whatever it is. And, I find that people really want that back. And they think it's gone, but it's actually not. It's still there. And I just love lighting people up as I help them to reconnect to those parts of themselves. And that became, like I said, the main core mission of bull busting.
Okay, now do people... And I know that you also you're really working with leaders and small businesses, but if someone who would come to you? Would it be that someone says, oh my gosh, I've lost myself? Is that doesn't seem to be...
It's like Peter Pan. Peter Pan comes by. So cows come to me. So
obviously.
So what happened is, I guess the people that would come to me, first off, there's my blog. So people that hopefully first come, they need a laugh. If you come to my website, it's, a lot of people come there and just crack up. So that's what I hope you get.
She's also a stand-up comedian in her spare time, yes.
My blog, which is called The Lie of the Day, even though it's every week. But anyway, we won't go there. So I present basically...
That's the first lie. It's
not
not
the first lie. It's
not
not daily
daily.
lie. It's a weekly lie. But anyway, but it's okay because I'm full of bull too. That have to bust. So let's just bust it.
Okay.
So basically, the lie would be a story or an excuse or something that I have used or heard other people use to stand in the way of what they ultimately want. And so on the blog, I will present the bull, and then I bust through it. So the first are the people that come and want to know, what is bull busting? The people that I work with in the coaching area tend to be solopreneurs. I work with a lot of service-based businesses. I'm actually at the moment working with a small business, more of a mom and pop shop. So I want to expand into that as well. And basically my core work right now, it's called a personality-based marketing system. And what that means is the first part of the system is about aligning the business owner to their own integrity and authenticity. And sometimes you don't even realize it, that you just do the program and it's got this neat piece about the alignment that I think some business owners are surprised to find that, they're this part of themselves that just hasn't quite been there. And it's amazing how much more alive the business owner becomes in that section. And then we take that, I actually make them name that section, that part of themselves, and we then carry that into a personality-based marketing system. So we take their personality and we make that an integral part of the marketing work that they do, and then we work together to implement whatever strategy we realize is appropriate.
Okay, so this works. You work with individuals, you work with groups, you work with teams.
Right now, it's
everybody?
mostly individuals and groups. I do want to work with teams as well. I'm actually kind of trialing right now. The mom and pop business is a team, so we're going to see how we can play with the system within a team. So I would like to bring it to teams as well.
Okay, and you're referring to a manual of substantial size,
yeah,
right?
I created this program from nothing, and it was really invigorating to see. I mean, it started here, just like our thoughts, and and it became this manual that's like this big. So yeah, it's got actual. There's it's some core. There's a lot of work to be done. I created the program. I think we were talking earlier because I realized that in the marketing arena, especially as a solopreneur, there's a lot of gurus out there, which is great, and they want to teach us about marketing, but I'm left with the impression, having followed some of them, that social media might be the only kind of marketing, and that there's these 10 magic steps that we should all be following, and then our Facebook fan page will have thousands of followers, and we'll be really popular and millionaires, and the truth is that, no.
Not how it works.
But also that if we were all to follow the same 10 steps, well, then we'd all be the same, and isn't the point in business to be different?
What an excellent point. Yes,
and I know, and that popped out for me too. Going back to your original question of why I started the BullBuster Cafe and what was going on. My previous two businesses, ironically. Anyone that knows me knows that I love cows, and I have for a long time. And there are like no cows on any of my other business sites. And now I've developed my
felt
site
lost there, did you? Yes.
I did. Now my site is developed around the cows. And what happens is the more you that you become, the more you accept yourself, you accept that some people really don't like your work, and that's okay. And it's actually great, because if you're not into what I'm doing, then we save each other a lot of time. And I get to work with the people that come to my site and think, wow, she's nuts and I love it, or wow, she's really got an interesting message and I want to work with her. So it's great.
So give me an example of the lie of the day. What are some of the lies we tell ourselves?
Sure. So, one that I just recently published was called "Social Media Sucks," and
I don't know if that's a lie or not, but okay.
And I said it's a partial lie, yes, because I know. But what was interesting is, a lot of people just find social media overwhelming. It is a bit, honestly. But I think a lot of the times we wonder, well, here we are putting all these things out there. Is there really any point? Is it really serving a purpose? Is it getting to anyone? And as you know, I'm going to again give a shout out to Soul Friends, which is a great community.
I keep seeing Heather's picture pop up on there every time I happen to get that.
It
is
looks just like
wonder. It does, except you're wearing green, but
so yeah, or red. Well, so basically, I became part of this community a few years ago, and I have my blog feed there, and I noticed that they have been on Twitter retweeting my blog posts. And so, here I am just wondering, is my blog message getting to anyone? And they're retweeting it, and they've got this whole community. So they've helped me reach a whole community that I might not otherwise have reached. And then in return, I did this blog post, and I put a picture of the tweets between us and how that we were reaching different audiences. I was giving them a shout out in my blog post, and now here I am on TV giving them a shout out. So you can see how this can happen. There's just a flowing out of your message through social media.
Can you contour your social media advances and experiences to what you're comfortable with, as opposed to, because I know there's a set formula. It's like you have to do 30 blogs in order to get, and you have to have 7 comments per blog, and it's like, and that's what becomes overwhelming. I mean, is that, can you tailor it to your own needs and your own comfortable level of comfort?
I mean, my theory is that there's a lot of business owners that actually don't do any marketing, social media or anything, just because